Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be going over my own build that I like to use on Noctowl in the second generation Pokemon games and how you can access these moves. Now, if you'd like to check out the Smogon competitive builds for yourself, I'll have a link to the Smogon article in the video description. But starting off, Noctowl is a normal flying type, leaving it immune to ghost and ground, resisting bug and grass, and then it's weak against electric, ice, and rock. In terms of its numbers, Noctowl can actually be pretty tanky, particularly against special attacks, given the fact that you have HP up there at 100, special defense at 96. The rest of the stats, we have special attack at 76, speed at 70, and then attack and defense are at just 50. Not an ideal attack number, given the fact that we're normal flying, which are both physical type attacks in the Gen 2 game, so using our same type attack bonus offensive options wouldn't be going off of our higher attack stat. But nonetheless, this is the build that I'm going to be going over. I've been testing it, and I like the results that I've seen. And starting off with move number 1, this is going to decide whether you go into battle with an item or not on your Noctowl. If you go with Thief in the move 1 slot, then you're going to go into battle without an item. Hopefully, you're going to be able to steal a leftovers from your opposition. But if you go Reflect or Dream Eater, then you're going to want to have the item leftovers on your Noctowl. But starting off with Thief, you're not going to deal a ton of damage with this one. It's 40 power, 100 accuracy, dark type, but it is going to be going off of our special attack. And the idea behind taking Thief is to get that leftovers off of your opponent so that when we poison them with Toxic, that poison is going to more quickly whittle down their HP if they're not getting that boost up from leftovers at the end of every turn. And Noctowl can learn Thief through TM 46, and this TM can be grabbed over at Team Rocket's headquarters. And in the Team Rocket facility, it's going to be on the basement second floor in this southwestern area. That's where you can grab that TM for Thief. Now, I have a couple of other options that I think you could potentially slot in instead of Thief if you wanted to just go into battle with leftovers on your Noctowl already. And what Reflect is going to accomplish is it reduces the physical attack damage that our team is going to take for the next 5 turns. And if we look at the tank stats of Noctowl, you already have a really nice special defense as well as HP. Now all of a sudden our Noctowl becomes very difficult to deal with those defensive numbers being strong across the board. And Noctowl learns Reflect through leveling up, picking that one up at level 25. And then the third option that I have in the move 1 slot is Dream Eater. And the idea behind this is your opponent, if you poison them with Toxic, they might want to get rid of this by using Rest. That's going to mean that they're asleep for the next 2 turns, unless of course they switch out for a Heal Bell user in their party. And Noctowl learns Dream Eater at level 57 through leveling up. And Dream Eater is going to be going off of our higher special attack stat. It has 100 power, 100 accuracy, and an additional positive to this is the user will recover 50% of the HP drained. So not only are you dealing out a decent amount of damage, but you're also bringing in recovered HP on top of that. And then I round out the rest of the build with Toxic, Protect, and Fly. So Toxic is used to poison the opposition, and this damage is going to ramp up over time with that badly poisoned effect that Toxic is going to have. And then with Protect and Fly, we essentially get 2 turns where we can stall out, where our leftovers is going to be healing us up, while that poison is dealing damage to our opponent. And Protect can also be useful if your opponent is looking to use Explosion or Self-Destruct, for instance, where you can block that damage if you predict it accurately. And then Fly is going to have our Noctowl fly up into the air and potentially give another turn where your opponent is going to miss an attack on you. But this isn't going to be the case across the board, as there are some moves that actually will hit a Pokemon when it's in that fly stage where it's up in the air. And after I was done making this video, I thought of an additional move that could make a lot of sense on your Noctowl, so I thought I'd edit it in at this point in the video, and that is in the move 4 slot with Whirlwind. And what that's going to accomplish is it's going to force your opponent to switch out. And this can be good for a number of different reasons. You might find yourself in a disadvantageous matchup where the opponent that you're going against is immune to poison. You also could be going against an opponent that can use super effective attacks against your Noctowl. It can allow you to spread toxic poison throughout additional members of your opponent's team. And also, if you find yourself going against an opponent that's boosted up its stats with something like a Curse or a Swords Dance or other stat boosting moves, well, using Whirlwind to swap out that opponent is going to reset those stat increases. And even though you could potentially go 2 moves in a row without your opponent being able to hit you with a direct attack with using Protect as well as Fly, this isn't guaranteed to be the case with Fly. When you go up into the air, you can still be hit by a super effective move Thunder, which would be less than ideal. So those are the reasons why I also think that you could put Whirlwind right into this build and have it make a whole lot of sense. And Whirlwind would be an egg move that you breed with the father of the Pidgey line who knows that Whirlwind move to pass it down. But starting off with Toxic, this is going to be TM06. And you can pick up the TM for Toxic as a prize for defeating the gym leader Janine. The next move is Protect, which is TM17, and that TM for Protect can be picked up at the 3rd floor of the Celadon department store for 3,000. And then rounding things out, Fly, pretty self-explanatory, that one's going to be HM02. Unfortunately, in the Gen 2 games, Fly only has 70 base power with 95% accuracy. And that rounds out this build that I like to go with on Noctowl. It's not going to be perfect in some situations that you might find yourself in a competitive battle, given the fact that Noctowl takes super effective damage against electric as well as ice, which are fairly common attack types that you'll see in a Gen 2 meta battle. Also, if you find yourself going against an opponent that you can't poison using Toxic, that would also be a difficult situation. So be sure you have options on your competitive team to switch Noctowl out that are effective against those types of counters. And if you guys would like to check out the 2 competitive builds that are over on Smogon's website, I'll have this article linked down in the video description. And that'll wrap this one up, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, and I'll catch you back here next time.